Videos of what?
The presentations last year from KCON. So now you can actually go see them.
God, flash to bang time. What's that? 7 months?
Something like that, yeah.
So there had to be some form of video archaeology in order to find them.
You know what? I'll give you this much though. The content is kind of evergreen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, without respect for like the latest stuff, latest in free switch kind of stuff. Most of the content is evergreen.
Well, and we're working on improving the time between. The problem is we don't have a dedicated video editor. It's Jill, who's Tony's wife, doing it when she has the time for it. And I think we're going to change this, but the way we filmed last year, we had 3 sets of cameras. And so she has to go through and get the best angles from each one to compile the videos. So
No. You're going about this the hard way. Says the guy who had 20 years in that business. You do a line cut. You ISO record. That is to say, you use your software to record the individual cameras, so you get 3 files. But you also record a 4th file, and the 4th file is somebody sitting there choosing the shots as the thing goes down. Mm-hmm. So you basically have a finished program, and you only need to go back and if you have some really bad changes in shot, you can go back and fix it, but you don't actually have to edit the entire program then. Yes, this is how we used to do it. We used to shoot with 4, 5, or 6 cameras. Each camera would have its own reel, but then we do a line cut, and we do a 1-hour show and less than a half an hour of editing.
Cool. We might be setting up a meeting sometime to have you talk to Brian and Ken and see about maybe setting something up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help with that stuff. That's all good fun.
So while we're geeking out, I figured I'd start a stream via Jitsi to YouTube Live, and that's now operating.
So we have 2 streams going.
Well, I was about to do a 3rd one with OBS on another mount point. Can that be done? I think it can. Yeah. Although I didn't want to. Well, I don't know how Nginx works.
Well, it's just a web server.
So it doesn't care how many mount points you name?
No.
We all stream.
It's basically set up to do anything at all. Very, very simply. I mean, you can tie it down and make it only specific mount points and only specific frame rates and other such things, but there's no point.
So you just slapped this up? You weren't running this before, were you?
No. Well, I was running Nginx, but I had to recompile a new one. Yeah, but I had to recompile a new one.
So you just slapped up a streaming server?
Yep.
In your spare time?
In my spare time. Literally in about 5 minutes, but what was it, about 9:30 in the evening or something like that?
Yeah.
But that's why he's a man, right? That's
Yeah.
Take a look at
like the Justice US has our skills.
within the geeky context here, you guys should take a look at the YouTube stream, which, because it's coming from wherever Jitsi is, and I really don't know, have no idea. But it's pretty stable. And I was having a little bit of trouble with the VLC feed of Nginx thing. So that URL, I don't think it's worth changing it so that live shows it, although if we were going to do an hour, I could. So that URL.
Yeah,
in the IRC.
Yeah.
So that live shows it, although if we were going to do an hour,
Yeah, YouTube's fine.
No, I'm watching the YouTube. It looks good on the laptop.
Interesting to compare. YouTube's fine. Yeah, YouTube's way behind.
YouTube has a lot more lag, but you know why? Because it converts to about 60 different formats too.
Except it doesn't do that on the fly. It does that after the fact.
Oh yeah.
That's why it processes the video after you're done. Except it doesn't do that on the fly.
It's also recording, of course.
That's why it processes the video after you're done.
So that's something.
Well, there's a new release of OpenVPN, gentlemen. That's important. Get out of there. Well, there's a new release of OpenVPN, gentlemen. That's important.
So we're going to start an official thing in 20 minutes with the roll-in and everything?
We can.
At any rate, it'll be recorded on YouTube if I keep this up.
Oh yes, I have a question for Mr. B before we go to the proper thing. Did you?
We are
succeed?
public, you know. We are public.
I know.
Okay.
Did you succeed with your task, sir? He's not listening to me. James. No, he's not listening.
Yeah, the entire world is listening, but not James.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Well, we can say what we like about Mr. Bodie at the moment because he's not listening, even though he's here.
Mm-hmm.
You look like you're listening hard for something.
Yeah, he does. I don't know what.
No, you.
Me?
Yeah, you
No,
have
I'm
your
just
head tilted in a kind of a dog and parakeet type way when they're listening. No. I was trying to ask you guys, you and Michael, have you seen this show called Downward Doggy or something, whatever it is?
No.
No, it's pretty funny. It's well, have you seen the movie Dogs? Oh God, what is that called?
Dog's Life?
Yeah, it's something about Dog's Life, but that's not the name exactly. Very, very good movie.
A Dog's Purpose?
A Dog's Purpose. Thank you, Kathleen, for 20 points. So have you seen it or just heard of it?
I haven't even heard of it.
Just heard of it. It's not something I think I'd watch.
I think you should. Very cute.
Oh, come on. Turner and Hooch. That's
No.
brilliant.
Well, it's way better than that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Turner and Hooch. The other one, the other one was with what's his name? James Belushi and the dog. Also not a fan.
Oh, you're not?
Not into James Belushi.
Well, it's the dog bit, really.
James Belushi. I saw that. And
Michael, ZipDX has called my cell phone.
Yeah.
And then when I answered it with and dialed 1, it said, once again, you can't accept this type of call on this phone.
Okay.
Which is boring, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, take that phone out of your profile.
I don't know what I've got more than one ZipDX profile. I can't remember which one it is.
Oh, well, get about your business. That's the thing. ZipDX is a DIY establishment. We are not a concierge service.
Yeah.
Robotic blow-up dolls not supplied.
Well, people actually, somebody said they come to us from, they were doing operator-assisted phone calls, and they came to us and they're like, blah, 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 blah. And, oh, yeah, we really like your rates. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And you have the dashboard, you have all the stuff. We show you how everything works, and then they send you on your way, right? We give you the tools to run the conference yourself because it is, after all, your business. You know it better than anybody else. And a call center operator is not typically a value add in a conference call. Except that you pay like 20 cents a minute for operator-assisted conference calls, right? I mean, it's 4 times more expensive than ZipDX is. But then they got all excited, like, what do you mean we do it ourselves? Oh, we can't possibly, avoidance of responsibility. So you get we get a lot of that. People who they really like the idea of having the tools and the visibility and whatnot, but then they don't want to DIY. Here we go. ZipDX coming up.
Okay. James, I shall ask you the question I asked whether you were paying attention.
Why is that?
Oh, sorry, say that again, Andy.
I asked you a question when you were otherwise engaged with watching something and not paying attention. So the question was, did you succeed in your task?
No.
No. That's not the right answer.
Emil's just popped up.
Sorry, what popped up?
Emil.
Oh, right.
I just want to tell him that we're using Jitsi.
Hey, ZipDX. Why am I not seeing? Hello? That is confusing.
See what happens. I've just slipped Emil the URL. So any second now, we could have Emil to breakfast.
ZipDX welcomes Michael Graves. Please stand by to join the conference already in progress, scheduled to start 4 minutes ago. Hosted by
VoIP Users Conference.
Press star for other options. Now joining in wideband, one other participant.
Seen that before.
You are the only party in the conference. If your meeting was interrupted, please remain connected.
Oh yeah. Enough.
Hi, Max.
Max.
There's no Max. We see no Max. Max is not here.
Right, I've done a little bit of homework on Google Home calling, so I think I can identify the differences between Amazon calling and Google Home calling. And I'll tell you what, the Google one looks much better.
Why? By the way, you cannot be called on the Google thing. Only call out.
Correct.
And you can, apparently, you're able to show your mobile number if you want.
That is correct.
Otherwise, I think it's one of those transparent Google Voice things, don't you?
Yeah. Well, the big advantage is that you get free calling to US and Canadian numbers, which is a pretty big one.
Alexa isn't free? Oh,
No.
Alexa's only amongst Alexas.
Correct. It doesn't dial out to the PSTN, so that's one big difference.
Oh, well, huge difference.
That's just a yes, though. That'll come to pass.
Also,
I wonder how that would come to pass, though, unless it's a paid service.
well, I think we know the answer to that. Well, at least somebody who's not a million miles away from Kathleen might know the answer to that.
We know. I mean, what do they call that? I can't remember the name of the service, but they did their enterprise comm thing, video comm thing, and they're partnered with Vonage and the likes of that already. So yeah,
it's going to happen. But other advantages that Google has over Alexa is that it recognizes who the speaker is. So you can have me, I can say, call my mum, and it'll call my mum. But then if Sophie then says exactly the same thing, it will call her mum. So it recognizes the speaker and applies the context. Now that is clever.
This is called competition, and this will drive both of them to be better.
Yes, indeed. Another example of contextual calling is you can do things like, say, place a call to the nearest florist or the nearest pizza store, and it'll work out where the nearest pizza store is and will call for you.
That's actually not so useful because these are devices that are not mobile. These are devices that are, typically at your residence. So once they're there and set up, they probably will in due course know what your favorite pizza store is.
Just a sudden thought. I just wonder whether emergency calling is supported. So, Alexa, make an emergency call.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
No, I guessed as much.
I very much doubt that would come to be supported. That would have to be forced, I expect.
Alexa, my daughter just drank some bleach. What do I do?
I can't find songs by Door Adjust.
Yeah, that's bloody helpful.
Alexa, play Randy Resnick.
I can't find songs by Randy Resnick.
Well, useless today.
She said Eggnick.
Eggnick. Eggnog. Randy Eggnog.
Alexa, play a song by Randy Newman.
Ooh, I like him.
Songs by Randy Newman.
Stop! No, Alexa, stop! We don't want to be taken off air for copyright.
That's right. We're on YouTube. They would.
They would. Alexa, who is Anthony Minnesala?
Anthony Joseph Miller became the second last criminal to be executed in Scotland when he was hanged on the gallows at Glasgow's Barlinnie prison on the 22nd of December 1960.
Close.
Pretty good.
What else can you ask? Alexa, what is free switch?
I'm not sure.
Oh, useless.
What?
And just a comparison. Okay, Google. What is free switch?
According to freeswitch.org, free switch is a scalable open source
We're
cross-platform
not hearing it.
designed to connect popular communication protocols using audio, video, text, or any other form of media.
Look, see, Google got it, even if.
Ah, brilliant. Alexa, you're lacking.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. When it comes to asking contextual questions, Google will get it right virtually every time, where poor old Ms. A here, I don't want to wake her up, fails. She crashes and burns.
Whereas what the Amazon device has is integration with a wide ecosystem of smart home things. And
Google Home says that they're doing that as well.
yeah, accepting that they haven't. It's a much, much narrower ecosystem just because they haven't been around as long.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
They prefer their own things.
I am going to order a Google Home now. In fact, Alexa, order a Google Home.
Would you like to shop?
Yes.
What would you like to order?
Google Home.
You're going to hurt her feelings now.
Voice ordering and my deals are exclusively available only if you enable voice shopping. Would you like me to add Google Home to James's Amazon basket instead?
Yes. Oh, no. Yes.
Okay, add it to James's basket.
Well, it's great, isn't it, when you can use Alexa to buy Google Home?
I like
So
how she had this just a little difficult for you, though. She's
should-
like,
Yeah, she
amend
doesn't make it easy. Are you sure? Are you really, really, really sure?
Tell
Okay,
me what
Alexa,
you really.
which is better, Google Home or Amazon Echo?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
No, but I bet Ms. Google knows. In fact, if I'm really, really cheeky, what I can do is I can pair my phone's Bluetooth to the Echo Dot and use that as a hands-free speaker, can't I?
Here's the thing about that kind of gets me. I kind of have a little more respect for Amazon in the fact that they got out there and created the product category, or that they took a leadership role, and Google's coming along after the fact, and they seem to be. I don't know. It's just not impressive to me. It's not as impressive.
I think
For all their heft and might, they seem to be scrambling to. They're just not leading that space the way one might.
Google.
Google.
Yeah, well, mainly because they came in a little bit later. But it's a bit like Amazon. They
be number 2, right?
It's not
It's easy.
It's not. It's like they've done with Android. It took a while for them to get going, but then like a very large stone rolling downhill, they just gather so much momentum. So anyway, it's going to be interesting to see who wins the voice UI wars.
Well, ultimately, nobody to win. Ultimately, we need to have multiple choices, or we'll end up. It's kind of the way we are with mobile carriers or so many other things, where we have sort of a de facto monopoly or an oligopoly.
One of the really interesting things is that Google Home is available on your iPhone, so you can have all the good bits. In fact, should we try that? If I'm already paired on my iPhone with the Amazon Dot. So let's see whether I can get Google Home working. Google Home on my Amazon Dot. Oh, it does Deezer. That's good.
Okay, here's an interesting thing. If you're going to try and sell me services, you should really know my name. I get emails to other people, like specifically named to other people. I'm getting an email to David.
That's working. Oh, crikey. Crikey, it works! It works! I now have a solution which allows me to stream my beloved Deezer on the Amazon thing.
Except that the dot for music, the dot sounds nasty. The little dot. You'd be better off having something proper for that.
Okay. When you say it sounds nasty, can you be a little bit more specific? What do you mean by sounds nasty?
Not good.
Okay. I'll take this and I'll plug in external speakers.
Yeah, there you go. That works. In our dining room, we have a dot plugged into.
Oh, that's very basic.
BX Audio, little powered monitors. Works really well. The only thing is the dots are a bit noisy. The analog out, the dots are kind of noisy.
Oh, that's just not good. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. For purposes of this exercise, let's use this. So what I was going to do, now I've got that, I can go back to Google Home. And I can ask it questions.
You got to come and meet Kathleen. Come on.
Meet Kathleen.
Oh,
What a
no.
Keep a,
Is this the puppy?
This is the puppy who has finally woken up. Hello. Oh, hello. Here she is. Look. Look, that's Kathleen. Look. You're not going to look, are you? She's cute. She ever so cute.
yes.
Adorable.
And a pain. An absolute pain.
Of course.
Oh, getting in the way of sleeping and all of that, making messes everywhere, but they're fantastic.
Yeah. Just as well we have no carpets downstairs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, James is going,
Well, I've got two little
puppy
cats,
again.
and I'm very fond of that, even though they bring in a headless bunny every now and then. my little girl cat was being very, very demure and quiet in her little hidey hole. And I found out why. She had a headless bunny in there.
You don't know.
I didn't want to share.
Hmm.
Hey, Mr. Julio.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine lives below my desk. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. You're a horse, aren't you?
Oh, here we go. It's stand by the puppy cam.
Oh, Mr. Julio, you got in trouble, didn't you?
Yeah, Kathleen, we need to take the camera down a little bit to see your pup.
Oh. He's trying to like lie down in my lap. Ugh. Okay, let's see if I can lift.
They have taken to playing so aggressively these days that
You ready, Michael?
Ready for what?
It's the hour. We have to start now.
Oh yeah. You gotta go.
That
Keep the puppy going.
it's a puppy day. The what am I doing? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
23 seconds.
Hang on, I gotta go to hair and makeup.
Seem to have a problem with my pot.
Yeah.
I don't mean the
I
one.
hear that a lot. From California.
Oh, Corrado, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Just
Oh,
made it.
you look very well. I was going to say you look very well. Looks like you've been going
Out skiing.
spray tan, but I think it's just the light reflected off your very bright
Orange. Salmon.
salmon.
Salmon. It's pink.
It
I like
takes a
pink.
real man to wear a pink shirt.
Who doesn't
Did you
like
look
pink?
at the three? Did you look at the three streams, Corrado?
No, I couldn't see the links.
But
It's fine.
Well, they're
whatever
in
you
IRC. They
do,
weren't in. They're in the public IRC.
whatever you do not.
No, I just reconnected, so I lost probably the.
Okay, but you're good now. You're in the thing. It doesn't matter
Someone's
anymore.
muted me. I'm muted, am I?
No,
No.
No, it's not working.
more's the pity. Stop working.
As I
All
was
right.
saying, don't cross the streams. Wasted.
Or the river. Right then, shall we get on with this mess?
Let's get on with it then.
I thought we were doing it. Are we
I'll
not?
tell you what I told my wife. I said I'd do it, and I'll get to it. and
Hello.
one and a
Hey there, you've wandered onto the VUC, a weekly conference produced by IP Communications and VoIP Community. We would like to thank Simwood.com. Simwood can turn you as a developer into a telco. Our hosted PBX is from onsip.com. You can get a URL that people can click to call you at onsip.com/getonsip. Speaking of SIP, we use the best PSTN and SIP conference bridge in the world, zipdx.com. Our website at vuc.me is on bluehost.com. And thanks to Voxbone for our world local rate dial-ins. Okay, we've had a little bit of an upset in that Dr. Richard Stallman, who we spoke to briefly here on Jitsi, had terrible connection issues. I have a terrible camera issue. There we go. So we have rescheduled that for 1 week from today. Okay, so that would be May 26th, 12 noon Eastern time, our usual time. And gosh, who am I going to throw it over to? Kathleen, what are the announcements from FreeSwitch, please?
Well, we have a couple of really exciting announcements. We have a brand new event that we are announcing and rearranging the schedule just a little bit for. So you can head over to cluecon.com to check that out. But I'll tell you a little bit about it. Tuesday, we are going to go to Lucky Strike and have a gigabit bash with bowling and billiards. So that'll be a lot of fun. There's going to be food, drinks. If you don't like bowling, you can come hang out. There's going to be games, snacks, drinks. So come socialize. And then Monday night, we have the Monday meetup. So after the pizza party, we will be migrating back to the hotel for a few drinks and some socializing and networking. So very excited about that. Check out cluecon.com. You can see the updated schedule there. And then we've also announced the first round of speakers and are soon to announce the second round of speakers at ClueCon. So you can see who will be there, and then there will probably be a few more updates to that as time goes on. So check that out and join us. Register if you haven't already.
Don't just tell us who's going to be there.
Well, so far we have Allison. We're very excited to have Allison. All right, let me see if I can pull up the list in front of me. Allison, we've got Tony doing his keynote, which will be great. And we have Alex Goodman from Axia, Brian West, Dan Jenkins, Dan Bogos, Daniel Constantine, I'm not going to say his last name correctly, from Kamailio. Emra from Clearer Link, which should be a very interesting talk. Fred Dixon, Luca from Mojo Lingo, Robert Mondowski, and Travis Cross.
Oh,
and there will
Travis.
be more announced soon. So keep an eye out for that.
Are you having dangerous demos, Kathleen?
We are. We're very excited about having dangerous demos back this year. We've got a few exciting hints of what people are going to do, but it'll be good. And then we are having Mr. James Bodie as a judge for our Coder games as well. So
tell us a little bit about Coder games.
Well, the Coder games are on Monday. They are a series of games designed for those of you who come in on Monday and don't necessarily want to do the hackathon but want to do something. You can participate or you can just observe. We have the Raspberry Pi Makers, which is we're going to have some cool hardware for people to play with and see what they can create from that. We've got Code Fights, which will be a lot of fun. Some games where you head-to-head against competitors to see how good your coding skills are. The Sponsor API Challenge, which will be very cool this year. We have a number of sponsors participating in that. And then
with that, the sponsor just gives access to their API to see what
this year we're having them create a game of their API to sort of best showcase what their API can do, and then you can go and play that game and maybe win some cool prizes. And that lets you check out their API in a fun, sort of relaxed way, and lets them feel
How early can people get to the API and have a quick shifty?
That will be coming soon. I don't quite have that information just yet.
Because we know that people who tend to get in there early tend to do really quite well, don't they?
They do. They do. You have a higher chance and better chance of winning a better prize the earlier you start. So keep an eye out for that. I will be announcing it pretty soon. And then the free cycle tax. We have a fun game for those of you that don't really want to do any coding, you know, kind of want to do something a little more relaxed and not work while you're here. And that'll be a lot of fun too. We have an announcement about that coming out soon. So
jelly babies?
You are welcome to bring some. We can maybe see about launching them into the crowd, but we'll...
It's a good ploy to keep everybody alert, isn't it? If you have to dodge a dozen jelly babies that are bouncing off your head.
Yeah, and air assault tends to, you know, get the adrenaline pumping just a little bit. So, but yeah, that'll be good. It'll be a lot of fun. And we're very excited about the events we've got going this year. There is an event every night, so you will not be bored. And you will get plenty of opportunities to meet everyone that's there, socialize, hang out, and get a lot of good information as well. So we're excited.
Yeah.
It's 2 months away. Only 2 months away.
2 months away. Really?
I think it's 2 months and 18 days at this point.
Oh, it's just so close, isn't it?
It is. It is coming up very quickly. So if you haven't registered, register.
Kathleen, have I registered?
You have. You have. I
can't remember. It's what happens when you get old. You forget everything.
Kathleen, there is a senior discount, is there not, for James? I'm asking for James, for a friend.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I believe we...
I'm not senior in any way. I'm youthful and everything.
Right, yes, of course.
Yes, svelte and athletic and everything. Well, I used to be before I met with those jelly babies. So.
Yeah, we have quite a number of people registered so far, so it's going well. It's going to be a really good conference, I think, this year, and we're very excited about it. It's going to be at the lovely Swiss Hotel again. They were fantastic last year. Beautiful rooms, amazing views from the rooms. So it'll be cool.
Yes, I want to be on the, what is it, the 36th floor or something like that.
Yeah.
Room with a view.
This is the year of James don't choose the hotel. So we have Keith with us, and Tim is going to attempt to join from the airport as well. Hey, Keith.
Hi.
This is called trying to break everything because we are doing some pretty crazy things. Hey, Tim. Look at him. Hello, Tim.
Frozen.
Is this thing on? Yeah, well, that's what we were having with Richard, that kind of connectivity, so we had to postpone. Huh.
Randy
So
is
I don't
having
know
connectivity issues.
Oh, I am too.
So I don't know how this is working for anybody else.
Yes, we have you.
Like,
Yeah. You're on.
I got mute. And
yeah, not brilliantly though, I think.
Not terrible.
It's claiming everybody has connectivity.
Well,
issues.
probably because maybe we have too many people. I don't know. Not everybody's going to stay forever. What's with the black and white? This is new, isn't it? That it goes to black and white when you're.
it's a bandwidth serving issue for you.
No, but that's good. Oh, for me, okay.
Yeah.
Well, as I'm also transmitting and receiving a different stream and YouTube, maybe I should stop that.
It's working fine now, Randy.
But now it says Andy S is having connectivity issues.
Yeah, and it says Michael Graves as well. This is clearly a new feature that's been added.
Yeah, well, that's what we were having with Richard constantly. I'm going to turn off some of the stuff here because there's a lot of extra stuff running. Well, not that much, but it's pretty good, actually. All right, that's that. Now, I wonder if YouTube Live, click on Live. There we go.
So we should, while we're thinking about it, maybe describe what we're doing here, which is a little bit different, and why we're doing it. Because Dr. Stallman had laid out some relatively straightforward terms for joining us. And one is that we had to be accessible by genuinely free software, right? And he happened to mention that Jitsi Video Bridge was an acceptable approach, but YouTube or Hangouts were not. But we know Jitsi Video Bridge. We can do that. That's not a problem. And then we get to thinking that, okay, how are we going to stream that if you can't stream it live to YouTube? And well, we can figure out how to do that too. And Andy put up a web server that has an RTMP mod that makes available an RTMP stream, which seems to be working okay. I think that this has had more pre-production by the VUC core team than any call in our history. And I further think that it wasn't by me, which is wonderful. So kudos to Andy and James and Randy for pulling it all off. There's a lot of homework involved in it.
And then the funny thing is that dear old Richard Stallman then maneuvers himself into a position with virtually no bandwidth, and then can't make it, which is really quite ironic.
Well, he is traveling, and he will be next week. He'll be at MIT, and supposedly they have a decent interconnection, high, as they say in AM radio. So it should be fine. We decided after long and hard hand-wringing that it would be best not to have him. The video was fine, even if it was just a couple of frames once in a while, because after all, it's just talking heads. But his audio was cutting in and out. It sounded great when it was there, but it was intermittent, and obviously you can't really talk with that.
Oh, it's Timmy again. Hello, Timmy, again.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've got the bandwidth to play this game.
Can you look happy, please? You look very grumpy at the moment.
Yeah, he's concentrating.
I'm worried about whether I can find enough bandwidth somewhere.
I think the answer is no. It's gone black and white on my thing for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I thought might happen. But then I'm in an airport.
Yeah. And
to your point about codecs, I did run on several different OS with VLC. It does work. None of my systems are Linux though, so maybe that is the problem. That's interesting. We'll just take a quick look at on Android. I've got MX Player, which is quite good. Doesn't seem to be any video yet. Takes a while for that to come up. But also VLC on Android worked.
Yeah, indeed. And I'm sitting here watching the screen. There we are. Wrong way up.
And what stream are you watching?
I am watching api.tp.mu/something.
VUC or VUC?
Yeah, RTMP, Romeo Tango Mike Papa /api.tp.mu/live/VUC646.
Okay, but there are two different streams. That's why I asked. Yes, look at this. Here's the same exact thing that you just read out.
And
it's very, very close. It's only about 5 seconds difference.
It's not bad, is it?
No, it's very good, in fact.
The quality is remarkably good, I have to say.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good.
Very good. No, Jitsi has done a fantastic job. Oh, okay, Andy. This should be interesting.
It should.
What's Andy doing now?
He put out the thing in. Well, Eric can certainly. He put the stream live. He put the Jitsi URL. It's not a URL. It's no. Maybe it is a URL in this case. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. So Eric is getting a room with just him. I've got that right, have I not?
That happens sometimes.
Eric.
Yeah.
Eric Klein, you know Eric.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes, and we don't know why. Maybe is it possible there's a space typed or something? We've had that happen before. All of us had. I don't know why it happens though. It does happen. The only problem is that my recording has all this, and yes, is having connectivity issues.
Yes.
But that could actually be true.
And actually, oh, by the way, we're looking for a new place. So I was looking to the possibilities, and the one place we looked at today, internet connectivity is one of the things we're looking at. And this thing it doesn't even have VDSL2. It has ADSL, but it also has apparently a 400 megabit. There he is. Hi, Eric. 400 megabit fiber connection to coax.
Where's Eric? Oh, there he is.
He's there.
Oh, well, he's off the end of my display.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people.
Oh, there you are. Hello, Eric. You're looking very shiny today. Keeping it up. Yes.
I'm sorry.
So if you are watching,
oh, we didn't get that for some reason. There's some really gruesome echo cancellation going on. Little clonk. There we go. This is serious. Now we hear nothing. And you haven't been through makeup either. The glare off the top of your head is...
well, that's lighting, not makeup.
Oh, is it? Well, exactly. It needs to go through. As do I, actually. In fact, I've got a wig.
Powder on the head. All right, let's get back to something that's better.
In fact, no, I've got...
Did we speak? Were we live when we talked about the home?
No.
The home echo or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Google Home Calling.
Yes.
Because last week we talked about Amazon calling.
Correct.
And that caused a bit of a stir. But of course, let's straighten my hand. This week at Google I/O, Google announced Google Home Calling on the Google
testing.
Yes, whoever's testing is.
Yeah, it works.
Works.
Okay.
So we did a little bit of homework to ascertain what the differences between Amazon Calling and Google Home Calling are, and the big one, I guess, is that Google Home Calling only calls out. It's a one-way system, and it calls out to the public switch telephone network. Amazon don't have that yet, but Google do, and it allows you to call for free any standard telephone number in US or Canada. So great if you're in US or Canada. Slightly less use if you live outside those areas.
Correction. If you want to call US or Canada.
Exactly. That's
all your friends in the UK from the UK.
That's true, yes. Yeah. So if you're in UK and you want to call somebody who's got a US number, and of course, all of us kind of technorati type Europeans, we all have American numbers anyway. Because
several.
Yeah. I'm going to take that hat off. I look slightly dodgy wearing that. I'm an Englishman in New York.
We're used to it.
So other really good things about Google Home Calling is the way that it contextualizes the instruction that you give it. So if there are two of you who live in a house, if one of them says phone my mother, it will work out who the speaker is and it'll call the right mother. So if my wife then said, call my mother, if she said, call my mother, it would call her mother, not my mother, if that makes sense.
And if you switch the word mother, if you put lover, does that also work?
Yeah, call my girlfriend.
Well, that could work either way too, I guess.
Come back and say, which one?
Yeah, good. Or which country, in my case.
Yeah, indeed. And I think, based on my experience, the really one of the big differentiators is that Google do seem to be a lot better with this contextualization of instructions. I think the quality of the microphones in the Echo are better than those in the Google Home, but when it comes to actually processing an answer, Google tends to be better.
And this is with your contacts, Google Contacts, correct, James? So that it would know.
Yeah, so as soon as you log in, it just picks up your entire context, including your contact book.
Well, so if you don't have, it doesn't know that your mother's your mother, though. Think about that a second.
No, Android.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Facebook. It doesn't have a relationship graph in the same way that Facebook does. It doesn't know who my cousins are.
Exactly.
Well, I think it does. Here we go. Look. Okay, Google. Call my wife. And
yeah.
Who's it gonna call?
That's gonna work.
Oh, that's
calling me. Why are you calling me, James?
But if I tell it who my wife is, then
yeah, exactly. You have to tell. So in your context, you would have to say mother.
Yeah, but once you've told it once, it'll remember.
Of course, that's true. Now they know who your mother is, and they're going to bother her about. Doesn't James?
Right, and what happens when you change your lover? I mean, you know, this is a recipe for disaster.
This is exactly the kind of American Gods situation that would be fearing.
Okay, well, I tell you what, let's test it. So okay,
yes.
Okay, Google, call Tim Panton.
Which are the 20 numbers that you have?
Oh, which Tim Panton? I've got 3 different ones. Let's try that one.
Wait, so you chose which number to ring? Well, I don't get it. What's the magic about that?
Come to think of it, when you're making, well, he was saying, okay, Google, but when you're making a call on either one of these devices, you're doing it strictly through voice. There is no touching anything, right? It's so like hands-free. It would ask you, well, which one do you want me to call? Blah, 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 etc.
Like what I wanted to do is to work out the one that's active where you are, Tim. So I want it to work out that you're at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam, and then call you on the mode that's most appropriate for calling you at Schiphol.
It's asking a lot.
Ooh, that is tricky, yeah.
But here's the thing, I don't want it to call me at all.
And it should always go to your red phone.
Yeah, well, that's very, very easy. Should we call your red phone? Is your wife at home? So we call Tim's wife on the red phone. No response.
Yeah.
Wisely. Goes quiet. No, I'm not getting a response at all on that. My Jitsi has frozen, by the way. Sorry, not Jitsi, the VLC feed, for some bizarre reason, with me wearing a slightly gay hat.
He's obviously got taste.
Yeah, but it's okay if I get it on straight. What one wears in the country to go.
That is what one calls a jaunty angle.
A jaunty angle? Yeah. We're going out and watching cricket. Oh, no, far back. It's got to be the right angle. Probably about like that, with no glasses on underneath.
We're coming to the season.
James. But. Oh, look, there's a puppy.
Puppy cam is on. Oh, look at that.
Puppy cam. Yay.
Yeah, what's he eating?
I'm putting that into the highlight for the YouTube and the recording and all of that.
You can interact with the puppy live.
Okay,
So,
Google.
Which is that, Jesus?
Interact with the puppy.
You can't hear me.
Julio, he cannot hear you.
Julio,
No.
hey, Julio, Julio. He looks like he can hear me.
No, he can't. He's like, "What's that? Dad propped up a camera. What?
Yeah.
I don't remember signing a release."
No, it looks more like that expression is more. Do you really want to do this? Remember, John? If those of you who saw John Oliver last week, it was a funny moment.
We are using a ton of bandwidth on this particular occasion, but it's because we are dedicating bandwidth to the stream. And also, Jitsi likes bandwidth, right? Jitsi likes bandwidth a lot. You get this many people on it.
Yeah, well, it makes the best use of what you've got available, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say that because I'm not maxed out, but we are doing considerable bandwidth outbound.
The quality actually is extremely good.
It is. One comment, by the way, when I spoke to Saul, he said you should really use Chromium 57, right? Is that the last version? Because this is what, Chrome 59, right?
Well, I'm using 59 right now. 58 is the shipping version right now.
Apparently, it's the devil's version, though. And
I'm using 60.
Oh,
I think it's
using that's not beta.
I'm on 60.
Okay, so that's not beta. Then that's got to be Canary, right?
Yeah. But Saul mentioned, he said 57 was a lot better than 58. Of course, I don't know what they've corrected. You know, as we've discussed many times that we were going to do the shit Chrome broke this week podcast. And I guess there's more than enough material for that this week.
You mean things that Chrome have broken?
You know what, James? In this day and age, if you listen to podcasts and you even watch any cable TV, you'll see that that word is not that bad a word anymore.
No, I suppose.
No.
Even
say,
all.
59 has AEC3 in it. It's not turned on by default, but you can turn it on and have it play with it, and it is a completely rewritten echo canceller that I'm looking forward to spending some time with.
Only you would look forward to spending an intimate moment with an echo canceller.
If you suffered the old ones the way I had, and
and all the Cylon effects.
No, that was something different again. But the old echo cancellers are really rather nasty in what they do. They mangle the audio unnecessarily, and a rewrite was necessary to overcome it. So, happily, Google did that, although it took about 2.5 years.
Right. Different question. Have we got screen sharing on this first version of Jitsi?
Yes. Jitsi, you do if you have the extension downloaded. If you try it, it's up on the center menu on the top, which I'm showing to everybody on YouTube now, by the way, by mousing over it. And there is a start-stop screen sharing, and if you don't have the extension, Chrome extension, it will prompt you to load it. It doesn't take more than a second. But then I must ask, what you're planning on sharing?
So there's one amusing thing about that, which is that you have to build your own Chrome extension, your own Jitsi, because it's tied to the Chrome extension, tied to the domain of the Jitsi. So if you run your own Jitsi on your own domain, then you have to build. It's trivial, but you have to build your own Chrome extension and then publish it in the Chrome shop. So it's kind of subtle to doing screen sharing, but if you're just using the public Jitsi service, it doesn't crop.
Interesting. I take it that they did that for us then, because it just takes a second to get.
And in point of fact, that's true with any similar approach to desktop sharing, because the web share tool that we use at ZipDX, we had to do exactly the same thing, and there's reference code for that out there. You can take it. It's because it's got to be signed appropriate for the domain where you're using it.
Makes total sense. So just as a reference, we have OBS at 287%, Google Chrome 235, ScreenFlow, which is the recording I'm using, at 76, CamTwist at 21%. Boy, it's the first time I've seen CamTwist look good.
Whereas I'm sharing my screen now from the server that's running Nginx and doing the OBS stream, and that, if you look at the load average at the top,
We don't
0, 0.
I'm not
Yeah,
seeing
it just turned up for me.
your black screen.
Took a while.
black screen, Andy.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
think just a quick refresh.
Another
So-
unsuccessful dangerous demo.
Yeah, well, there you go.
No, really
They're all
not. I got it. I saw it.
You did?
I'm seeing it now.
That's really fun.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
And I'm seeing Andy in black and white.
Took a
monochrome.
I'm seeing Andy in black and white too.
Oh, how weird.
Isn't it?
It depends on your bandwidth,
Yeah.
not on the others.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Quick. Let me highlight that. Oh, it went away. Ah, there it is.
What?
Well, it's not readable anyway, but I do see it, Andy.
No, I should imagine it's because it's on a
There's no way to
1920.
magnify. There's no way to magnify that. Well, there is actually. Go to change the terminal setting.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. But the point really being that there is almost no load at all on the server. It's and I'm looking down the list of the various tasks that are running, and I'm actually struggling to find Nginx in there at all.
Yeah.
It's way down the bottom. It's using almost no processing at all.
Oh, that's better. I did a refresh now, and now I can see it.
Okay.
Can you zoom in at all, by the way?
I don't think I can, unless I change settings on here.
The font.
Where do we change this? Appearance. No, it's not that. Anybody know where you change the
font settings? There you are. There.
there?
Font settings.
Font settings, right hand side.
Okay. Let's put it up to 20 then. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, that's nice and big.
That's wonderful.
That's beautiful.
Isn't this a fascinating show, ladies and gentlemen?
I see. Hang on, I'm muted.
Talk us through what we're looking at. What are we looking at here, Andy?
The SSH daemon is taking.
I actually stopped it, so we'll retry it. This is just top. So it's showing all the system processes and the load averages and so on. So this is a dual core CPU, so you can get up to a load average of 2 with it absolutely doing nothing but just using the CPU. There's no backup at all. And it's showing 0.00, which is the 10-minute average, I think, 0.01, which is the 5-minute average, and 0.05, which is the 1-minute average.
And just remind us what hardware that.
So this is running on a virtual machine. The hypervisor in this is Zen, and it's got 2 gigs of RAM and 2 cores, and they're virtual cores. So it doesn't have 2 physical cores either. So it's not being stressed in any way. You could run this quite happily if you had the bandwidth, I would think, on a Raspberry Pi.
What's its network utilization?
Network utilization, good question. I don't know how to tell that from here. I'm not sure you can.
Yes, you can.
If you can, how do you tell it?
Well, come on, Michael. What are the runes for that?
I'm the wrong guy. I'm not a Linux head.
So Tim said yes, you can. Where can you tell the network utilization from here?
Give us some runes.
I didn't, but IOStat maybe.
You have Beamon. There's a thing called Beamon.
Netstat, maybe? No.
Beamon.
No,
Yeah.
Netstat is instant.
Is that BEA mon?
BMON.
BMon. No, I haven't got it. Let's get it.
Or there's Slurm and also TCP track.
It's a error code. Oh, Zenutils, that's all right.
So you just installed Beamon, have you?
Yes.
Yeah, you're just showing off, aren't you? Well, there we are. So it's showing received 400-ish kilobit per second and transmit jumping all over the place.
Yeah, but it's in the low megabits rather.
Yeah, that's nothing.
No, it's good.
How's it doing that? Are our media streams? Well, I know.
Well, maybe I would. From that, I would say that there's only one person watching it, and that's probably me.
No, there's at least 3 people watching.
Oh.
Well, I assume, I don't know if Keith is still. Are you still watching, Keith? He was. Yeah, he looks like he's got it on. He's sharing the screen.
How about pressing D?
I'm just about to. Increase screen height to see details. Okay, so I've got to reduce the session. Yeah, the session. So change settings, appearance, font change. Let's go down to say 16, shall we?
Yeah,
okay, there we are.
Oh, that's much. Perfect. What's going on there then?
That's a good question.
No IPv6?
Well, not using it. It is there.
Okay. It's where we wait for a large Swedish gentleman to pop up, wave his arm.
Yes, it is not cryptographically secure.
I should have sent him the MRL.
He's busy on the radio anyway.
That's right. Radio killed the video star.
It's funny that somebody else has taken this stuff off into broadcast space because, this is primed to disrupt it.
Okay, well, that's probably enough of that, I would think.
Yeah, it's interesting though, and I'll tell you what, the screen sharing works remarkably well. We go from a really crisp, clean screen share back to a very, very blocky video picture.
Yeah, blurry. Yeah,
terrible. Which is gradually getting better as it learns.
Now, the interesting thing, having come out of sharing my screen, is I'm now seeing myself.
Oh yeah, because I've blocked. Well, I don't know. That shouldn't be what you're seeing. Well,
right. Okay.
Did it move just now?
Did it move for you?
Oh yes.
Did it move for you, Andy? You haven't had a cigarette in at least 90 minutes. What's going on?
Well, you never know. I might not be feeling brilliant.
Completely different question now. Who knows about DTG, digital terrestrial, whatever the G stands for?
Geopositioning.
Apparently, it's being broadcast, and you can buy these tiny little SDR dongles that you plug into your typically Android handset, and you can watch high definition TV. And because it's a digital mode, which is being picked up by a software-defined radio, the margins that you have, the radio margins, are absolutely brilliant. And you can pick this stuff up in many places where you can't pick up an analog transmission. And I'm thinking that if you've got one of these things, then you should be able to hijack the dongle thing and make it do all kinds of things that you should not be able to do.
Speaking of that, have you been keeping track of David Rowe's progress with his DV codec for shortwave radio?
What's it called?
Well, if you go to Rowetel, ROWETEL, remember he years ago appeared as a guest. He's been developing this voice codec that can do voice over HF radio and LF radio at anywhere from 500 kilobits to 2.5 kilobits, because he thought that there was a hole in the market for a low bit rate usable codec for that application.
Yes. So this is amateur radio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the fellow who did like peer-to-peer asterisks in those mashed potatoes in East Timor and this kind of thing. He's really good at doing wireless stuff that serves underserved communities.
Yeah, and the latest version is called Free DV. DV, I guess, stands for digital voice.
Yep.
700D. What does a 700 stand for? 700 is probably 700 hertz.
700 bits per second.
Bits per second, yeah. That is nothing, is it, really? That must be very, very heavily coded.
It's in its sort of early days yet, but he's outperforming single sideband by a wide margin with great, giving you great rate.
Surprised me. I mean, single sideband is technology of the 60s, isn't it?
60.
So at
Before
that bit rate, you could almost run that over LoRa.
Yeah.
That would
And
be really funny.
I
mean, there'd be a long latency, but
I was thinking NB-IoT actually, but yeah.
Well, I'm thinking very low power HF radio.
I'm thinking tin can and strings.
Yeah, lots of things you can do with that. Over the air tests. So, yeah.
That's whiskers on crystals.
Yeah. Oh, on the subject of amateur radio, I looked at something else the other day, the latest in craze, and that is consists of these combined Android phone with digital voice radio. So a 2 meter or 77 digital voice radio. And the great thing about it is you run an app which works out where you are and then tunes your radio for you with all the parameters set. Because sometimes all these different digital radio modes can be a little bit complicated. And so just trying to just tune the thing up can be a bit of a challenge. So there's this application called RFinder or RF Inder, which has been put together by a bunch of hams in the east coast of the USA. And they also sell these super duper waterproof, bomb-proof slabs of Android handset with the digital radio built in, with a massive battery. And I just want one. But I want two. Because they're good.
You need two to talk to anybody anyway, right?
Yeah, and which reminds me, when was it? Was it what, a year, 2 years ago that we did Zello on the show? Do you remember Zello?
Yeah, absolutely. You still have it?
Yeah.
I get rid of
it occasionally.
Well,
yeah.
actually, Zello's an excellent piece of work, really.
Andy's phone bursts into life like it will any second. Well, but in this case, it won't because it's offline.
Don't we still have a VUC room for Zello?
I don't know.
Or do we? I don't know.
Are you online on Zello? Is anybody online?
I'm online on Zello.
Over. Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, no, I'm offline.
Yeah, well, you should get a message on your iPhone saying Andy is talking.
It's hell to get old.
I'm now connecting. Oh, there we are.
Fascinating television.
Like it will any second.
There we go. That works. Mary had a little lamb. He fed it on cream crackers. Oh. So there we are. Did you notice how little latency there was?
That we heard from those two eminent gentlemen, James Bodie and Andrew Smith.
Well, you are.
We are eminent.
You can't hear.
Mary had a little lamb. She fed it on cream crackers.
This is probably a really good time to stop the YouTube thing anyway.
Yeah, so apologies to anybody who was expecting a serious conversation today.
Yeah, that'll be next week. A little reminder, I don't have the slide handy, but Richard Stallman, it's going to be really interesting because just a few seconds that I exchanged, Can You Hear Me Now, with him today. I know this is going to be a great talk, and it's he is, for lack of a better term, a controversial figure, but he seems to be polite and honest, and it's going to be great. So tune in for that next week, hopefully with the proper bandwidth. We've kind of proved something here today, and thanks to everybody. We spent about 5 man days on this, only because we don't have any ladies helping us. So that's it.
It's nice to spend a few lady days doing it.
I would rather spend 2.5 of each, personally.
Yes.
Goodbye, YouTube. Everybody say goodbye to YouTube. Wave. Goodbye to YouTube.
Bye bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oops.